Here is the Prime Minister of Australia, the Right Honourable R.G. Menzies.
Fellow Australians, it is my melancholy duty to inform you officially that in consequence of a persistence by Germany in her invasion of Poland, Great Britain has declared war upon her, and that as a result, Australia is also at war. No harder task can fall to the lot of a democratic leader than to make such an announcement.
The events in Europe must have seemed like a world away at first, but as the government begins rationing, access to everyday items is harder to come by. These early years are a struggle for the new business, but in difficult times like these, ingenuity and innovation come to the fore, and Fred proves himself to be a clever mechanic while Evelyn astutely handles all the business. He tinkers with parts from one vehicle and works out how to make them fit another. Fuel and electricity are soon rationed, and operating the fuel bowsers by hand during blackouts is backbreaking work, so Fred modifies the pump. It now operates by pedalling a bike mounted on a stand. For much of the war, Fred is in his workshop performing miracles with modified parts. He becomes an expert in charcoal gas burning to keep cars going. Mounting a gas-producing unit or hopper on the rear of vehicles would turn charcoal into a volatile gas that could be burned as an alternative to petrol. This gas was dirty, dangerous and inefficient. Fred became a pioneer, and Kevin earned the nickname Coley from being constantly covered in charcoal dust. When booths first began selling cars in the 1940s, they were vehicles from the Roots Group, Hillmans, Humbers and Sunbeams. And in 1946, Roots Australia began manufacturing the Hillman Minx at Port Melbourne, Victoria. This was the first time that a British motor manufacturer had established a production line in Australia. Post-war Australia experienced a period of sustained economic boom, helped in part by massive infrastructure projects like the Snowy Mountains scheme in 1949, which is still, to this day, the largest engineering project ever undertaken in Australia. The 40s will always be remembered as the war years, but there were some rays of light. Captain America was introduced in 1941, Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier in 1947, and the first Polaroid camera was released. Family living in Australia in the latter part of the 1940s was comparatively easy for most families. Certainly they did not have a lot of money, but having come through the Great Depression and Second World War, things were looking pretty good. And as 1949 drew to a close, Booth's Motor Group had already celebrated its 10th anniversary.